It is really a good moment to see this conversation taking place, and one of my greatest pleasure to address us in this conference. Thank you for this opportunity. I want to firstly appreciate all our governors. You have led well in our provinces for the last 47 years, going 48 now. So I just want to say thank you to all governors of past and governors of present, including the provincial, what used to be previous under the old provincial government system. Thank you very much to all governors of all our provinces. You have held us well up to this day, and I just want to step back and say thank you to all leadership at the sub-national level. Thank you very much. Over 47 years, now going 48, we have come truly a long way. One of the most diverse nations on the face of planet Earth, if not the most diverse nation on the face of planet Earth. Yet, by God's grace, this diversity has been stitched together and held not just by our constitutional framework, but more importantly, the resolve and determination of our people, far and wide. Amidst the challenges that we have had thus far, we remain together as one nation, one people, one country. This would not have taken place without the great level of contribution that decentralized mode of government had played to our nation thus far. And so from the outset, let me say again, thank you to all of you who have held leadership in all our provincial governments. It was 18 provincial government and a special district, the nation's capital in our country. Today, 48 years on, we have 20 provincial governments, not 22, one special district, the nation's capital, and a special region, the Bougainville region. Let us get this narration correct. 20 provinces, one special district, and one special region, the Bougainville region. We have come a long way. Amidst the many challenges, we have remained together. And now let me be upfront with you as the current Chief Servant of Prime Minister. Sitting from where I sit today and I look back into time, I realize the struggles we've had in the last 47 years. I realize the inherent weaknesses that we have been carrying as we endeavor to deliver services to our people. And I also must acknowledge the greater challenges that you out there in the provinces have had over the last 47 years, going 48 now. Our weaknesses, our inherent weaknesses are notable. That is why reforms are important. Taking on from the considered weaknesses we've carrying through inherent in our system, we must bring reform. And if these reforms are for positive change that translate to actual delivery of goods and services to our people, then I am all for it. Evidence must point to the structure we must set up, that it is good for our people. And let me say from the outset, the Marape Provincial government, or my government for that matter, especially under the leadership of Pangu Party, is in no way a government that will eliminate the provincial government system in our country. We will entrench, we will augment your role, we will empower provincial governments to work better for our country going forward. We created it in 1975 with the founders of our country. The vision, the rationale, the reason of provincial government to be established is correct. For in a land of so much diversity, a centralized system of government in Waigani has no complete answer to our people. The government closest to our people must be functioning better to give service to our people. That is why today in 2023, up front I just want to inform and assure all you governors, we are not here to dilute your power, remove your power, or suppress you. Rather, we are here to make you work better for our country, delivering to our people, assisting national governments in translating policies to our people wherever you are placed to do so for our people and our country. And so having said this, let me give you my fullest assurance. Your identification of deficiencies we are carrying is heard loud and clear. The Minister concerned, the Honourable Soroi Eoe and his department have indicated to us earlier as he spoke that those issues are registered. We have heard, we are working through it. By the end of this year, I want to give you all our fullest assurance that delivery on all, if not most, that is achievable, attainable within this year will be made so that we have clarity on what is the level of function, power, and resource envelope that you must be able to utilize, that you work better in your provinces as we collectively work to make our country better. We, by now, have 4 years of experience as national government under this leadership. In the last 4 years, though hard it may have been, but we have not held back resources, but given resources to you. This is an evidence of our government trying our very best to empower you within the ambit of the existing organic law and provincial and local level government that guides and shepherds our relationship and our functionality. The last 4 years, we have averaged about 30% of our total government expenditure. Our total government expenditure we have passed on to you at the provincial level. 70% retained for national government functions, but 30% on average has come to all of you in the last 4 years. I do not have the data to point as to what was the level of allocation before, but I can bet you my top kina that 30% allocation could easily be the highest level of allocation any government of past would have passed on to provincial governments. That is an indication to all of you that we are committed to assisting provincial governments. And the conversation today is contemporary, it's relevant. What is decentralization in 2023? What is the functions that you must do? And what is the functions that districts must do? Or what is the functions that the national government must do? Those clarity needs to be clearly demarcated, established, cleared, so that all of us are not reinventing the wheel, or all of us are not overlaying our responsibilities, but we are making it happen for our people who deserves to be served in as far as receiving services is concerned. And so today I want to give you all my fullest assurance as we work in 2023, the margins of delivering the next medium-term development plan for our people within the context of what is a Vision 2050 focus range of making a country become a middle-income earning nation by 2050. I want to give you all our fullest assurance. The Marape Rosso government, this Pangu government is committed to ensuring that your governance, your call for reform is honored within the context of ensuring that you are delivering to the expectations of our people, our country. Provincial government systems will be strengthened, will be supported, and the reforms that you want must be consistent with a view of delivering service to our people. We are here not to take power away from you, but to give power to you. And I want to indicate to you, our government has heard you clearly, and we will work with you. And I want to at this juncture announce that we have and are working to establish a committee to be led by the Honourable Lutu Wenke, to be deputized by the Honourable Michael Marum, and a committee of governors, Governor Ibadas, Governor Jufa, Governor Peter, Governor Sia, Governor Bed, and Governor Mutuwa, for you and us to work together to ensure we deliver on the outcome that we all want for our country. That provincial government system that can take us beyond 2023, or more importantly, should I put it, take us from 2025 as our nation celebrates 50 years of independence. By then, we would have clearly removed all the systematic impediments that lies in between the national government and the provincial government, and the subsidiary arms, the DDAs, and the government closest to local level government. All this must be clearly refined, fine-tuned, so that by 2025, we have all system goals to ensure that efficiency of delivery to our people is arrived at, removing the inherent impediments and weaknesses that we have collectively identified. Hence, this call for reform, this call for strengthening, this call for making sure things get better in as far as the provincial government's roles are concerned. And so this committee of governors with Minister Soroy and our team must get to work and work with relevant government agencies, the Intergovernment Relations Department, our National Treasury, our National Fiscal and Economic and Fiscal Committee, for instance, to look at the government financing arrangements, to work with IRC to ensure that you're not just talking about autonomy, but you are raising revenue and retaining money back at your level, supporting your provincial functions. All these things are important work for all of us. We have to work to ensure we're not just talking this time next year, but this time next year, what needs to be amended by legislation is amended. What needs to be transferred. For instance, the defined autonomy, the 3 provinces already earmarked for autonomy, that is clearly defined and transferred, and the rest are being worked upon so that we are progressing instead of just sitting on the same spot, talking year in, year out. On Friday, I had the pleasure of working with our public servants. I know most of the public servants work late. I do work very, very late too. So for me, it was no issue sitting 10 hours working there. The call was an agency of work, all of us. We have no time to waste. The country you and me create or do not create is the country we will retire to. Some of you have lost elections and you are back into office now. Some of us sitting here, continuing in office, privileged to have been serving our people, will one day be out there in our society. The country you will retire into is the country you are either building or not building. The call is on us to work with haste. This conversation with the governors has been going on for the last 48 years. We cannot defer anymore. And so to the primary department charged with this mandate, Department of Provincial and Local Level Government, please, the issues are common. Maybe we need more data or statistics, find them. It is prevalent, it is abundant. NRA has it, NEFC has it, our Treasury has those data, Central Bank has those data, IRC has those data. Let's get to work. Fear not, empower the provincial governments. Let them get to work. We've created 7 new districts. Refine and define what is the role of DDAs in the context of supporting development in our country. But DDAs must not overshadow provincial government. DDAs is not government, but the delivery arm. Provincial government is government. LLG is government closest to the people. Those clarities must be put in place. We're not here to play politics, maintain government for the sake of government. We have weaknesses we carry through. Let's identify them, get them fixed, so that we're not passing these weaknesses to the next generation, but we have attended to them in our time. We are no longer a young nation. My government is no longer a young government or new government. We're an old nation, 50, going 50 very, very soon. In one life, I've gone past 50 years old. I've lost a lot of hair and I'm getting whiter. That is not because, that depicts my age. I'm getting on in life. I'm not going to dye my hair. I'm not going to pretend that I'm still young anymore. That is the reality. 50 years old is adult. Our nation is an adult nation now, no longer a young nation. So let's not hide behind, oh, we're a new nation, young nation. Let's get to work, brothers and sisters. It's our time to make it happen. Prime Minister just speaks, but if Prime Minister is speaking, the entire machinery must roll. So the results are coming up. And on Friday to the governors, let me assure you, I had strong words with the department heads and the ministers also. One punchline was, I'd rather do the right thing and lose government than doing the wrong thing and keeping governments. I am not here to babysit people anymore. Department heads, you've been told on Friday, step up or ship out. Some of these issues are common issues. Let's get to attend to these issues instead of procrastinating and delaying them. In this vein, I intended to set up the National Monitoring Authority to support the work of plasma, the defunct plasma. And we will try to look at how plasma can complement NMA, if not amalgamate plasma into NMA, and bring in the private sector, bring in civil society to sit on the board of NMA to ensure that they keep an arm's length check on the entire government machinery in our delivery endeavors to our people. It's about time we do things differently. For a non-Christian in Albert Einstein once said, doing the same thing over and over expecting different results, and if it doesn't happen, you are bordering on insanity. I want us to do something new, and I want to conclude by giving you all my full assurance. Provincial government is not something new. Good things are meant to keep. It is good for our country. In a land of diversity, we will keep, but we will do it better and new in the way we do business going forward. And I want to encourage you as we talk about what is the provincial government in 2025 and going forward for the next 50 years and beyond. It must be effective, cost effective. It must be government's delivery arm to our people. It must have the ability to raise revenue. One of my own big contesting point of difference with the former Prime Minister in the conversation of autonomy, I was telling him and debating with him what is cosmetic autonomy if the provincial governments are still dependent on negative handouts. They must have the ability to raise revenue, to fund functions that are provincial government functions at the end, and for national government to come in at national government functions with the and fundings with the equalization formula that we must tidy. And so it is in this context that I want to assure each and every one of you, yours truly and the government that I lead, hears clearly the provincial governor's issues. 2023 is the year we will respond to the 20, if not more, of the issues that relate to the functionality of provincial governments. Those that need legislative amendments, we will take 2023, 2024, and early 2025. Those that need policy retweak, we will take these 3 or 2 years. And by the time we arrive in 2025, as our nation celebrates 50 years of nationhood, together we would have entrenched the role of provincial government, and for you to have a clearer, decentralized mandate to function in serving our people, our country, and to make the job of Waigani much, much easier. And Waigani is elevated to macro-manage, supervise policy directions at the top, and provincial governments get to work to serve our people. The logic is simple. For me as Prime Minister or for future Prime Ministers, all you have to do is to deal with 20 provincial administrators, 20 governors, 21 is our city government here, and 22nd is Bougainville. Just 22 political heads, just 22 administrative heads, and if they're empowered to do the job, they get to develop and transform our country. Simple as that. Simple as that. This is management strategy, no complicated science. If the 20 are working in our 20 provinces, if NCD is working very well, and if Bougainville is functioning very well, ministers at the national level and Prime Minister at the national level, you will not work 18 hours a day like currently PM Marape is working. Simple logic. We just have to make it, clarify this. So when the time comes, as we move beyond 50 years of celebration, the provincial government stands as effective 20 powerhouse of saving our country far and wide. The anchors, the diversity we have today, and the song of our country, and our country's independence will keep going on and on. We cannot afford to start our years to the cries on the ground from the provinces. Such certain years to the cries on the ground have seen one part of a country today in a high autonomy having voted for independence through the Bougainville 2001 peace process. Waigani, under me, is sensitive to these issues. Waigani, going forward into the future, must know that provincial government is the anchor post of our country, and we must empower them with clarity. I want to lastly conclude by saying we have 47 years of weaknesses, political instability, weak public service, an ineffective provincial government system with reluctance on the part of national government to support them fully, a weak economy that has not really diversified much in its output and productivity. We have many structures of government, Bougainville, a special case, provincial government, LLGs, the special purpose authorities running around with millions of checks, the wards. You know, we are richer with 48 years of experience now than the wise leaders of 1975. They had not so much experience, yet they put a structure that has held us thus far. Today, 48 years on, in an effort to deliver better education, better health, better infrastructure, a growing economy, a better law and order, we are reinventing the wheel most times, and national government pushing the wheelbarrow all over the country. I want to elevate national government to macro level policy, budgeting, national legislations. I want provincial government to be the agents of making it happen out there in the provinces. My call is, provincial administrators out there in the provinces, are you willing to step up as we engage in this conversation? The governors will come and go, but you, provincial administrators, I want to make this call, and I, Secretary Sampson, sitting here, your work is much easier. Pick up 20 provincial administrators, train them, teach them, influence them, make them conversant with what needs to be done. And if we empower them, these 20, plus the 21st in the city, plus the 22nd in Bougainville, will be men and women who will change this country for the better. We look at nations like Singapore, Korea, Malaysia. Yes, they may have the same political head for a long time, but it is not really the political head who made it happen. It is the functionality of the bureaucracy, the stability of the bureaucracy, the effectiveness of the bureaucracy that impact the nation. And in one generation that leapfrog from poverty, obscurity, and next to nothing into first world and second world nations. Mr. Chief Secretary, I want to conclude by asking you, the agenda of reforming provincial government is the most important one facing us now. Empower them and make it happen. Pick these 20 people out in the provinces with NCD and Bougainville, and I believe therein lies the answer. I'm looking at people. Thank you very much.